אנחנו נתחיל. שלום לכולם, ברוכים השבים. אני מקווה שעד עכשיו נהניתם ותודה שאתם ממשיכים איתנו. אני פותחת את המושב לאחר הפסקת הצהריים ואני אזמין את הגברת ליסה סימן שהיא חברה בוועדות של איגוד האינטרנט הבינלאומי, בוועדות התקינה, והייתה שותפה גם בכתיבת התקן wpk9afq, וליסה תדבר על התאמות נגישות לאנשים עם מוגבלות קוגניטיבית, לקות למידה והפרעות קשב וריכוז. ההרצאה תהיה באנגלית ברשותכם, וליסה, please.
Thank you, Ilana. The other thing is that I'm chair of the task force inside WorkEgg and PF that's looking at cognitive and learning disabilities, but I'm speaking today as an individual, so nothing that I say is official or for representative of the W3C or anything like that. So that being said, we've got a relatively new task force happening in WorkEgg, and we're doing at the moment a gap analysis, looking at what can be done for what is being done, what should be done for people with cognitive and learning disabilities. So at the moment we're focusing on a gap analysis where we're looking at the situation and like a literary review or something of user groups. We're looking at 8 different user groups, from dementia to dyslexia, dyscalculia, autism, asphasia, people who can't use language, the different technologies that are available. And we're doing the background research, and then we're going to produce a roadmap and techniques. So that's where we are. We're at early stages. And we're going to probably end up with a combination where there's some techniques that are good for all these different user groups, some are specifically good for specific user groups, then you might have ways from an architectural level of jumping between different resources. But what I want to talk today about is actually just techniques that so far we know about that seem to be good for across the board people with different learning and cognitive disabilities. So that's really what I'm talking about today. Things you can do already, not all required, but you may want more people to be able to understand your content and use your content. When we're talking about cognitive disabilities, some of the main groups that we're talking about are people with memory problems now. If you reading problems, problems with executive functioning and problem solving, attention, and computation. A very interesting point is that cognitive disabilities tend to be localized. So I personally am dyslexic. I don't have a visual memory, for instance. I don't have any problem with problem solving. So people often think that their content's much too complicated for people with learning disabilities. It's probably not true. You've probably got some of the biggest experts in the world in your topic who have learning disabilities, or maybe they're developing cognitive disabilities as they age. And so one area you often just, well, like with physical disabilities, sometimes people compensate. So they may have weak points in some areas and strong points other areas, and you want people to be able to understand as much as you can. The audience we're talking about is huge. It's the biggest group of people with disabilities, and it affects everything they do. And as we rely more on online content and information technology interfaces, we make people more disabled than they need to be. For example, my father has Alzheimer's, and he bought a television set, and it came with 3 remote controls. So he can't use it. And so I put a little sticker by the on-off button, and that's all he can do, on and off, because to change the channel is a complicated. First you have to